We had a really fun project on Earth Day, April 23rd, 2017, where 3 volunteers from the Okemos Swim School, Goldfish Swim School, and a Daisy Scout troop from Okemos, 10 volunteers from that group, came and beautified the Nancy Moore Park with various flowers. They raked up mulch, they mulched around a lot of trees, and just really did a wonderful job getting that park all ready for the busy summer season. We had 3 wonderful events on Arbor Day of 2017, ranging the Arbor Day weekend. On April 28th, 120 5th grade students from Murphy Elementary planted 35 native hardwood trees at Lake Lansing North. On April 29th, 35 neighbors planted 175 trees in the Tower Woods neighborhood as part of a large-scale forest restoration project. On April 30th, Boy Scouts from Hazlitt Pack 265 planted 15 beautiful hardwood white oaks in the Northridge Land Preserve to start off our big restoration project. We had a wonderful vernal pool project in 2017. We kicked off, this was our first year for the Mid-Michigan Vernal Pool Monitoring. We had 50 volunteers who attended a training and monitored a vernal pool across Mid-Michigan in the year 2017. This was a collaboration between Meridian Township, the Michigan Natural Features Inventory, Ingham County Parks, the Stewardship Network, and the Red Cedar chapter of Wild Ones. This data will be uploaded into a large database that the Michigan Natural Features Inventory uses to influence policy and laws regarding vernal pool protection. We had a great project in Hartrick Park by adding to an existing monarch garden. This is an official monarch way station point, which will help the endangered pollinators on their long flight from Canada to Mexico and their annual migration. Dave Rajkowski, Julie Taliber, and 90 students from Bennett Woods Elementary in Okemos came and helped plant over 100 different flowers in this garden, and mostly these were milkweed species, which are very important for the monarch butterfly. The other flowers will also help pollinators such as bees, birds, and other butterfly species.
Our season starts in May. We'll plant seeds, all the vegetables, and we just start fertilizing and maintaining the plants. And during that period of time, from about May to the 1st of June, we average 200 to 300 students from schools from the area, and they come to the village and we take them through role playing. They are pioneers and where these vegetables come from, and try to make the students understand that these vegetables weren't here, the plants weren't here, that the pioneers had to bring them when they crossed the ocean and what they particularly liked. So there were no beets, there were no carrots, and so they actually had to build their life from here.
In the fall of 17, we dedicated our new Planted Pink Garden, which was a collaboration with the Garden Club and many different local businesses. And it was a lovely, lovely garden to imagine the world without any cancer, breast cancer. There are bricks to remember those who succumbed and those who survived. And it's just a lovely place to sit and be with your loved one overlooking the lake.
Whenever the parks are taken care of, there is a connection between the senior generation and the youth. That's the only way parks can be maintained, because out of love, seniors are volunteering, and when they connect with the younger kids, and then those parks look fabulous. So that servitude led me to these, and I have found volunteers in the community who are very willing to work with these youth. So my job is pretty much to bring those together And when you see that learning happen from one person teaching how to plant a bulb and the kid grasping it at a middle school age, first they go, like with a national initiative, they go out in fourth grade, third, fourth grade, and when we are doing it in eighth grade level and then high school level, then I think we are doing the full circle where they will always come back to Mother Earth.
Our annual Love a Park Day took place on May 20th, and across 4 parks we had 50 total volunteers. In Wanch Park, we had a daisy troop from Williamston help plant flowers and rake mulch. In Ferguson, Hazlitt Scout Troop 265 and members of the Greater Lansing Young Professionals Kiwanis Club spread play surface, mulched, and planted beautiful flowers that bloomed all summer long in Ferguson Park. In Orlando and Hillbrook Park, Township Board member Phil DeShane, the Hazlitt Kiwanis, Meridian Dims, Bobby Dubine, and numerous other neighbors of these parks came together and pitched in to give these parks a thorough cleaning before the busy summer season. Flowers were planted, mulch was put down, and trees were even replaced at these beautiful parks.
I'm Larry Hennessy, and this is the Sander Farm natural area. And I have been taking care of the bluebird houses on this park for about 20 years now. So we provide bluebird boxes for them. I check the boxes twice a week during the nesting season to make sure that there aren't invasive species taking over. And I monitor and record the number of nests and fledglings. We try to keep the houses kind of out in the middle of the meadows, away from the woods, the forest edges, because house wrens like to get in the boxes if you do that. We try to have them about 50 to 100 feet away from a small tree or bush so that the fledglings have a place to fly to where they can have shelter and can be safe for them. There are a lot of different styles of boxes. I'm not a very adept carpenter, so I use a very basic design that's easy to make using a single 1x6 board, and it has worked well. We make sure there's plenty of ventilation in the boxes. The hole is sized so that a bluebird can get in but a starling can't, so that keeps the starlings out. We put them in pairs because both tree swallows and bluebirds are territorial, and they don't like another bird of the same species nesting nearby, but they will tolerate another pair of a different species. They'll tolerate a different species nesting nearby. And we've had cases where we've had a bluebird nest in one box and a swallow nest in another. They do make a call. Their song is described as a robin on fast forward. They make a very sweet warbling call. They're not as loud as a robin, but it's a very pretty, very distinctive call. And you can always hear them here in the summer, the spring and summer.
My name is Steve Thomas, and I live in the Sauer neighborhood, sometimes also called Okemos Square. And with the help of some of the other neighbors and kids that live in Okemos, I've been trying to help restore this forest. This is called Sauer Woods. It's a township-owned preserve. It's about 6 acres, and it's a nice woods. But here's the history of this site. Actually, most of Meridian Township was originally a forest for thousands of years. And beginning about 200 years ago, these forests started getting cut down for agriculture to grow crops. And beginning then in around the 1950s, a lot of those farms started giving way to more subdivisions, and even more of the forests were cut down and removed. So we do still have patches of forest left like this, Sauer Woods, and it's nice, but it's not entirely healthy. And the reason is that the agricultural era and the modern era have been hard on this woods. A lot of trees were cut down to make during the farming era, and also a lot of grazing occurred in these woods, probably with horses and cows and maybe even pigs. And what that did is it eliminated a lot of the plants that are native to this forest. this type of forest would normally be much more diverse than it is now. Also, we've had a lot of invasive plants and animals show up in the past couple decades. And so me and some other neighbors have been trying to remove some of these invasive plants and also gather some native seeds from remnant populations of similar forests that are left in the township. And we are removing the invasive things and bringing in native, locally grown seed and planting them here by hand. And my vision for the long term is that this will be a woods that's healthier, has higher diversity of plants, more wildflowers, and also has bigger trees, and is a fun place for kids to play all year round, kids that live in this neighborhood for decades ahead of us.
The Seed Ball project in September of 2017 was a really great time. We had 90 students from Murphy Elementary come and enhance our beautiful restored prairie at the Davis Foster Land Preserve by making and creating seed balls from native forb seed. The students got to make the ball with soil and seed and toss it into the prairie. These forbs will support pollinators in the years following.
We've done 3 plantings now, coming with various Michigan hardwoods and some great success with some oak trees, swamp oak, some bur oak, and numerous others. And thanks to a grant that we just got from Capital Region Community Foundation, now known as Our Community, we were able to get rid of some more invasives that were starting to take over again, keep the weeds down, but also we're going to have a nice planting coming up this spring. It's going to be close to Arbor Day. We'll be in the 275 to 300 trees that we'll be planting at that time. And the nice thing about it is it's a kind of a family-oriented affair. We invite the Cub Scouts, we've had the Sea Cadets out to help us, and numerous people from the Tower neighborhood and the Skyline neighborhood and the Horizon neighborhood right behind us.
It's been very rewarding for me to work with the volunteers, in particular Dave Cassette, who's a dynamo and always has something going on out here. In addition to helping planting trees, I have volunteered to do weed control out here. We did some clearing of land and other activities. And we hope that long before I'm out of the picture, this will be a hardwood and pine woods that will be not dissimilar to what it was originally before the land was clear.
This is an excellent example of sampling, if you will, of the great volunteers that we have that have come out to help plant the trees and whatnot.
We also partnered with MSU to host the MSU Global Day of Service in 2017. 15 volunteers ranging from students, staff, and professors from MSU came together at Davis Foster to remove invasive species that might have invaded our restored prairie. Our fishing derby was a huge success this year due to the dedication of 3 volunteers, Kelly Coleflesh, Aaron Babbitt, and Mark Stevens, who taught over 100 kids how to fish and helped all of them catch award-winning bluegills.